So we have cataloged dysfunction in DC, nothing new, but very dispiriting. Talked about how Omicron wildly contagious, and you should take precautions, but probably going to get it. So we're trying now to end on uplifting notes here on the Forward Podcast, and I'm going to make a case that is, I hope, very upbeat and positive, which is that the new Spider-Man movie is something we should be excited about on a couple of levels.
No spoilers, right? No spoilers.
No spoilers.
To be clear?
No spoilers. So number one, this movie did gangbusters business. It is the second biggest opening of all time. It beat out Avengers: Infinity War. It's right behind Endgame. And it just goes to show that if you have a compelling offering, then people will still come out in droves to go to a real life in-person movie theater, spend some of their hard-earned money, put their butt in that seat, and watch what I will say. I saw this movie. It is a very, very excellent movie. And so, number one, there is still hope for real life in-person experiences like movie theaters.
That's good. I think they did a really good job marketing it too, between the lead characters dating and the rollout. I think they let a lot of
You
people...
mean that pretend romance? No, I'm kidding. It seems real.
It might be fake, and if it's fake, I bought it hook, line, and sinker, baby.
It seems real. It seems real.
It does seem pretty real.
One of the most uplifting pieces of content on the internet, if you haven't seen it, you should go to see it right now, is the lip sync battle between Tom Holland and Zendaya, the Singing in the Rain video. Zach, do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. And Tom Holland showed to me that how talented he was, and that without, a side of him I hadn't seen before, at least when I first watched it.
If you don't know what Andrew Yang is talking about right now, just go to YouTube and Google Singing in the Rain Tom Holland, and you will be glad you did, because it's the most delightful 4 minutes of content. And so you see future boyfriend and girlfriend, Tom Holland and Zendaya, in a lip sync battle. They're both phenomenal, but Tom Holland kind of next levels this thing. He does something that in a way, it kind of sets such a high water mark for a lip sync battle that there's no place to go but down. You know what I mean? Like you already kind of like defined the form, and then everyone else is a pale imitation. Anyway, so check that out. That'll be a bit of uplift for sure. But the second reason why I think that this movie is such an exciting marker for the future is that it does things that no one thought were possible. And that's kind of what we need in American life today. I'm going to just throw a couple of parallels. It's like you have this dysfunctional duopoly, and it's like, oh, we're trudging along and everyone's sad. And then Andrew Yang comes along and is like, hey, let's start a new party, the Forward Party. And let's, by the way, try and make it so that new parties can emerge that aren't just us. Like, anyone who wants like a vibrant system. And then people are like, oh, it's not possible. It can't be done. There is stuff that goes on in this movie that you would legitimately say, like, this cannot be possible. Like things that some fan fiction writer, even they would be like, there's no way. Like this thing just doesn't seem. And they did it in like a major tent pole. Like at this point, maybe like a franchise defining tent pole. They just pushed so many boundaries. They integrated different worlds and universes. And so right now you have this political universe that is so staid and insular, and it's like Beltway this and cable news that. And then there's this entire world outside of it that we need to kind of combine and integrate with the world of politics. It's happening in media. You can sense it. There's some like alternative media voices that are just rising in popularity because people are so tired of the nonsense and the BS. And so you can imagine what like a normal Spider-Man movie would be like. And now it would just seem like such a crushing disappointment compared to what they did with this movie. It's kind of funny to say, but like I feel like this movie gives you like a sense of what's actually possible if, for example, a couple of major movie studios, let's call them Sony and Marvel, got together, combined all their IP, took 20 years of movie history and like smashed them all together. If Sony and Marvel can do it, maybe the American people can do it too. Maybe like Forward and libertarians and socialists and Democrats and Republicans and independents can all make it happen.
Wow. That's like, frankly, not that they need it because it looks like they're killing it, but that's a pretty ringing endorsement for a movie, Andrew, from you. So I was going to see it this week. Maybe I'll go tonight. Maybe I'm like, get out of my chair and buy a
See it
ticket.
and like
Let's do this
freaking
thing.
send us a review, man. You can text me because that movie was like, there were a number of times watching the movie I was like, I can't believe I'm seeing this. Like it's like this stuff that you would imagine in a dream, and then like they invested whatever, like tens, hundreds of millions of dollars in it.
I love it, man. And I like it. We're ending this on uplifting things. I'm going to rattle off a couple too. We have an HIV vaccine in the works that's looking really positive. And it's the same mRNA technology used in the COVID vax that seems to be working. It's not official yet, but we're in human trials at this point, which is super exciting. There's a company called Air Company, which you can debate the name, that makes alcohol out of air. Have you seen this?
No, but I like it. I would experience.
But it's crazy that they're creating a product that's like extremely good for the environment to produce, or no cost to the environment. Now I've not tried this. I need to buy it to test it out. And maybe it's mad expensive. I'm not sure. But I like the trend of companies like that making money selling a product people need with basically no like carbon neutral or carbon negative.
Look at you promoting air alcohol. You don't know shit about it, and you haven't
don't know
tried
shit about it. But it's still cool. It's worth trying, right?
It sounds cool. Forward, sponsored by Air Alcohol.
Air Company. Continue. Air Company, if you're listening to this, we would love a sponsorship. And the other one I'll leave you with is, this stuff just fascinates me. There is a professor, Eduardo Fernandez, who's the director of neuroengineering at the University of Miguel Hernandez in Spain, who has gotten us one step closer to helping blind people see. He's basically created this, like, I don't want to call it a bionic eye because that's too far in, but basically, instead of trying to fabricate
it's a bionic
and like recreate,
eye.
Yeah, I guess so. Instead of recreating the eye, though, it's like plugging into your nerves, and then there's a camera that's like sending, but it's using the brain signals that we normally get from our eye to help your brain interpret what's going on out in the world. And it's been implanted in a woman's head, and she's like had like pretty good success.
And then the first thing she does is she goes to a police station, leans into the desk and says, "I'll be back," and then walks out and then crashes their car through the front. Maybe
which Terminator is this? This Terminator 2?
That's one, brother.
That's one. There's been way too many Terminator movies. They've tried. It's like all these future movies, you see people get healed real quickly, and I just don't think we've gotten there yet. But I think we're poised to take a leap. Whether there's stuff in spinal cord injuries or bionic eyes or bionic limbs,
or slowing and reversing brain aging, man. I mean, that's like the main one, like that my guy's working on at MIT. And you should know, Andrew Yang is not one of those like people who's like, we're gonna live forever, we're doing all this stuff. It's like I'm not that guy. But if we can slow down deterioration, and that leads to Alzheimer's and the rest of it, I mean that's gonna just save lives and like improve people's quality of life in like an enormous way.